All right. Well, hello, everyone. I did not think that I would be back this soon. Um, and I'm just gonna give everyone a heads up. You all need to bear with me because I don't think I've ever done this before. I'm like a live streamer. I've never done a reaction like by myself and uploaded it. Like I just go live and do it. Not to say that I've never done a reaction by myself. I've definitely done that quite a few times, but it's always live. So this is different for me, and I'm sure I'm probably going to have to edit. And I'm not big on editing. That's why I do shorts, y'all, because it's much easier to edit shorts than long-term content. Like I'm just not a long-term content person unless it's alive. So this is different for me. So just bear with me. And I'm going to have to figure out afterwards how to edit through StreamYard. Hopefully there's a way to do that. I may need some help. Cindy, your girl may need some help here. Anyways, so I was at work today and someone had sent me a link to a video that was uploaded this morning. And it is a video by Shelley Abbott. So I can't lie. Instantly, I'm like, okay, like who cares? Like, no, and this is no dig or offense to Shelley, but I don't watch her. I've always meant that when I said it. I never watch Shelley like that. I don't go to her channel. So I was like, okay. And they were like, no, like, I really think you should listen to this one. She makes some good points and she makes an apology to you, and I just think it would be a good idea if you listen. And I said, okay. Because again, I've stated it many times, I am the incurable optimist. I don't hate anybody, okay? It's just not in me to hate. I think Cindy said it the other day, like it takes so much more energy to hate. And yeah, I just don't have it in me. And especially Shelley, like I have no reason to hate her. So I was like, okay, like, this person is a friend, and if they're telling me to watch something, I'm going to listen. So I started listening at work. And it's like a long vlog. I really think it's worth the listen though. So I will link that in the description of this video. And I actually listened, and I think Shelley deserves a response. This was a really well thought out video, and yeah, I think she's deserving of a response. So that's what I'm going to do here. Now I have listened, excuse me, I have listened to the video, kind of have like stuff in my head, when I hear certain parts that I want to say. So it's not a blind react, but I am kind of going off the cuff here. I have no notes, so I am just going to diarrhea of the mouth for as long as this takes, and then I'm going to upload it. But I'm going to start in the middle. Yeah, it's like an hour long, a little over an hour, and I'm a little less than halfway in. Again, I may have to edit some of this stuff out. Because there's certain Shelley goes personal in some stuff. That's no diss to her. It's not what I do online, and I know she's more of like a vlogger, and I do watch some vloggers. So I completely understand it. It's just not for me. And there's some things that I just don't think is my place to react to or have an opinion about. So I'm either going to edit it out, or I'm just going to zip my lid and listen to those parts. And then of course there's some that are mentioned in her video that I just will never react to ever again or mention, or it boundaries, and that's like a hard line for me. So let's get into this and see what Miss Shelley has to say. And again, please click the link and go give her a view. This is worthy of a view. And I find it crazy that just like 3 days ago, I said to some of my girls, I was like, listen, someone sent me, or no, I was scrolling YouTube, and Shelley's community post because I never get notified for, I'm not subscribed to Shelley, as you're going to see. I don't lie about that stuff. If I say I don't watch and I'm not subbed, I don't. But scrolling through my YouTube tab, she'll pop up sometimes. So just this month, like randomly, I would see a Shelley community tab post, and it's usually just like a ritual morning, like, hey, good morning, hope you have a good day kind of thing. And I noticed that it was pretty repetitive, like just a normal good mornings every day, and that everything just looked positive. So a few days ago, I'm like, and I did actually go to her channel just to scroll her community tab, and I was like really impressed. I'm like, wow, Shelley seems to have taken on like a new leaf here. I can see the effort is what I'm trying to say. And again, incurable optimist here. I will always root for people to do better. So I've noticed that. And I noticed it to the point where I actually went to some of my girls privately and was like, you guys, like, I think she's got it now. I think she's got it. And I think if she can stick with it and just, she even talks about it in here, just do her content, stay in her, community. I think she's going to do great. So, all right, let's get into this. So I'm going to bring her up on stream here, and it's kind of starting at an odd spot, but I do want you guys to hear it's a little bit of reasoning she's explaining here about a situation. So let's get going.
Because I'm also, and for the past few weeks, I have been battling, as I'm sure many of us in the community, being friends with people that are friends with Tira. It's hard because you don't understand why people are friends with her still. And it's hard navigating that type of friendship. And I don't want to be one that hurts my friends by me complaining about her. And again, I never spoken to her for 7 months, not even to my friends behind the scenes, never, ever once. It was not until recently where she made in her video, she wrote in her diary, I guess I was bothering her, like my hair was bothering her, to the point where she said something along the lines of, can we give Piggy Shells a round of applause? She finally cut the rat's nest off of her head. And don't quote me specifically, but I don't know, she said something along those lines. And she said, I've come to terms that she's never going to dye her hair, and that it's going to stay gray, and that she's not going to put appearance, and it's shameful the way that she has looked on YouTube for the past 2 years. And it came out of left field and out of nowhere. And Tira has been poking at me and saying horrible things, long community posts about my mental health and how I'll never get a friend, and I'm a disgusting person and all these things. Meanwhile, I never said a word to her for months and months and months and months. I ignored it. I ignored her community posts about me and her YouTube shorts referencing me. So I ignored.
Some more patterns people are hearing, huh? Is this not exactly what we said yesterday on panel that we did? You guys, the truth is the truth. This is what Tira does. You can ignore her, act like she doesn't exist. And again, she is relentless. She does not stop. And I think people really downplay how difficult it is for people not to respond, especially, and me and Shelley have this in common, we are very reactive. And it's difficult, you guys. Like, and just with all this, she went into this a little before in the beginning of this video. This isn't easy. Like, I think people think this is super easy to, be a creator, and especially coming on, and Shelley, like, she has no shame. She always shows herself. And I actually envy that. I think people should be allowed to show themselves or not be allowed to show themselves. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood. And I legit just got off of work and I am laying comfy in bed. And God forbid I get caught in a position again on cam where I'm looking down at my laptop, because what's the worst position a middle-aged woman can be caught in, y'all? So I am not going on cam today. Maybe one day soon, though. I was thinking of next week. But anyways, again, like JJ says, long-winded bitch. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet, though, because I want to hear her out. But she's not lying. This is what Tira does. And I'm not really confused why the person thought that Shelley was referring to me, because it is a very similar comment to what she would say a little while back referring to me. But what Shelley just said about the way Tira is attacking her, like, how weird is that? Like, you have no interaction with this person for months, and then randomly they just go at you for your appearance? Like, even on my most petty day, unless you are the type to go at other people for their appearances and I severely dislike you, maybe then, but I am not one that's quick to jump to attacking people's appearances. That's typically not who I am. I'm not going to say I haven't done it, because I've definitely done it before. But just to not even have any kind of interaction with someone for like 6 months and then just to randomly make a long community tab post, excuse me, guys, about like her mental health and the rat's nest in her head, like, no, that would never be me. No, no, ma'am, no, sir. But that's Tira for you.
Ignored all of that. And then I watched her video, and yes, I didn't have to watch. And yes, I was told by people that this is why I shouldn't be watching her stuff. But regardless, she shouldn't be mentioning me if I'm not mentioning her. And she said those things. And so in my videos, my recent vlogs, I think a couple weeks ago, I had made a comment saying that for someone who says that she has depression, it doesn't seem like it, because she's constantly attacking my depression and my mental health, because she's making fun of my hair. And I was referencing, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, people will be like, Shelley, why are you bringing this up? You weren't into drama. I'm also battling with, every time I want to respond to something, I think everyone's going to think I'm into drama. And a lot of people in my members keep telling me, well, just because you want to, if someone's talking about you and you want to respond, or your feelings, it doesn't mean you're into drama. It just means you're referencing somebody. And I'm trying, this isn't going to be, I'm not doing this anymore after this, but I do owe, because I now see that misunderstandings are starting to happen, which is going to further complicate things with me, because people are going to.
All right. So a couple things here. I think your members are right. I don't think you should be watching. Of course, every now and, like, we're human. We're going to catch stuff every now and again. Hence why I'm doing the lives that I'm doing right now. So I'm not going to fault her for that. But there's certain people, and I think just personally, Tira should be one of those people for you. She's one of those people for me. I absolutely refuse to go to her channel. And for a while, like I said, I was scrolling and I saw Shelley here. For a while, she would still pop up for me. I'm telling you, you hit that do not recommend button enough, she will stop popping up on your feed. I don't think it's not productive. Like, Shelley's going to talk about here how she's trying to be more mindful of how she spends her time on YouTube. And I just don't see watching Tira as being productive for you. Maybe really not for anyone, if I'm being honest, but if people like her, they like her. Now, as far as having friends that are friends with her, listen, there's just going to be some people, and I've tried it. Like, I've been there with people, and there's a way to do it, but it takes a certain kind of people to be able to do it. Like me, JJ, and Cindy, we have friends that, maybe Cindy is a friend that I don't personally like, vice versa, JJ too. But we're a different kind of breed. And I'm not saying that to put myself on a pedestal. And it's not even that. Like, my trust in them is tenfold. 100%. It never crosses my mind like, oh God, I hope JJ isn't talking to so-and-so about me. You know what I mean? Like, so with certain people that are not capable of that, you have to put up a boundary, and that's a personal boundary, and it's for your own well-being. So if someone's friends with someone who's really horrible, and then you have to question at all their loyalty to your friendship because of that person, again, that's going to be a hard line for me. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, it sucks to lose friends, but are they really your friends if you have to question that? Because anyone I call a friend, I'm going to trust wholeheartedly.
People are going to start thinking I'm thinking about other people, and that's going to start fights with other people. And I'm trying to nip it in the bud and fix it right now. I'd rather come on to a video, fix it right now, make it clear to everybody. So I was talking about Tira when I said, because Tira has mentioned her mental health struggles. I have also struggled with mental health, and I've not been as vocal on my channel about it. I don't know, just because I'm not as comfortable really talking about my mental health. in real time. But
Again, unwanted advice, I think that's a really good idea. I don't again, there's certain people that can pull it off. I think it'd be different if you weren't currently, and again, I feel yucky talking about this, but Shelley mentions it. People that are currently going through mental health issues, I just don't think it's the right time. Maybe if it's something you struggled with 10 years ago and you're a creator online and you want to talk about it to educate and help other people, that'd be one thing. But I don't think it's the right time when you're currently struggling, if that makes sense. Be in a better place, like be secure in your person and your mental health before you're going to come on and talk about it. If that makes sense.
because she mentioned me, I made a comment about how if she has mental health struggles and depression, why is she making fun of my hair? What is up with my hair? Why does my hair bother her so much? What am I doing to this woman that she had to write in her diary about my gray hair and how she's so happy? Give a round of applause. Word for word was give a round of applause for Piggy Shells for finally doing something with that rat's nest on the top of her head. And if you're going to have a rat's nest on your head, you might as well chop it off. That hurt me because in 2026, I've been telling people on my channel that I'm going to put more effort into my appearance and that my mental health is getting fixed and that things have happened in my home that made me realize that I need to get my life together and I need to be more present as a wife and as a mother and get off of the internet. And I've been trying to stay off YouTube as much as possible and only stick to my content. I'm not in people's chats anymore. I don't share people's live streams anymore. I don't even watch a lot of people's stuff, and that's no diss to anybody. It's just I can't be around people if they're going to be into drama. I can't do it. I need to just wake up, get on my phone, post my content, and get the heck off of YouTube. But there are times that I do listen to some live streams, but it isn't often because
Again, round of applause. That's some like for real self-awareness right there. And again, people think it's easy to, stop doing something that you've been doing for years. It's not. I spent the better part of last year in this exact situation that she's explaining. You have to stop listening. But I'm telling you, once you do it, even for like less than a week, like for me personally, it's second nature now. I would never go to certain people's channels ever again. So, yeah, round of applause. And I hope Shelley can keep it up, truly. But as far as Tira, like even the question that you kind of said, I don't know, you said you left it in our comment section or something. Let's consider the source. Is anything productive going to come from you asking that question of her? No, because Tira is immature and petty and gross. So, girl, come on in a bathrobe. If you are confident and comfortable, come on how the fuck you want to come on. And Tira has no room to be talking about anybody's looks. Like, again, consider the source. But yeah, don't even watch her.
I feel like do myself a disservice by, sliding on the progress, going backwards on the progress that I've made. I hope that makes sense. If I'm one that reacts, then I shouldn't go anywhere that's going to make me react. And I didn't mind listening to Tira's videos from time to time because she never referenced me. And I started getting upset. It really, really did affect me with her one comment about my hair. So much so that I had to reference it in a public blog, which is why I try to stay away from people that talk about me because I know that I can't help myself. That's why I'm trying to remind my subscribers that I am a work in progress. When you've been wrapped up in nothing but drama every single day for the past year, 2 years, I think I'm getting better each and every week, not going to people's pages as often and not talking about it. So anyway, I referenced her in my blog and someone thought it was another content creator, and I'm going to mention her. I'm not trying to bring her out and shit talk her. I need to clarify it because it's not fair that she would be getting blamed for my comment. People thought it was Bliss Chris because I have made a comment about Bliss Chris in the past that I don't need to reference, but it has something to do with my depression. And I basically rode that victim train about what Bliss Chris said about my mental health one time over a year ago. And it was constantly over and over and over and over again, me talking about this girl and this one comment that she made about my mental health. And so as soon as somebody else made the comment and said, oh, she's still talking about the mental health thing, I thought, oh, no. This time it was about Tira Nicole when she made fun of my hair and it being gray and the rat's nest. And so basically I went to Bliss Chris's live stream, as uncomfortable as it was. I did listen in the bushes and I commented. I thought I was blocked. I took my chance that I wasn't blocked, and she said she had unblocked me. And I apologized and clarified it the reason I'm coming onto my channel to do it is because I think that that's the right thing to do. If someone is being someone else, not they're not being blamed, but how to explain it? How do I explain? Because they're not blaming me. What is the words for it? I don't do good explaining stories. Mike says you tend to talk in circles or you go into a different direction than the original point. Get to the effing point. I'm sorry.
All right, sorry about before, y'all. I realized that you can pause during a StreamYard pre-record. I had to run downstairs. Okay. Shelley, me and you have that in common. I don't know if part of your mental health is ADHD like me, but yeah, I do the same thing. Again, like my girl JJ says, long-winded bitches, so I completely understand. Now, I never saw you mention what you refer to as my comment about your mental health. Now, again, this is sticky territory for me because I don't like commenting on people's mental health. Someone else's mental health is none of my business. So it's touchy for me because you do, or at least you used to, come on and share about your mental health. And I don't feel like, I mean, of course, you really don't like me, so I can understand why you would take it in a bad way. And again, yeah, it wasn't the best comment, but I really wasn't speaking on I was replying to something that you said yourself. So what I had originally said was, and I can't even quote myself because I don't remember, but I know it was something along the lines of, I shared that in my early 20s, I struggled with some pretty bad depression. And I just made a comparison of the two, which you actually mentioned that you did with Tira earlier. So I don't really see the difference between what I said to you and what you said to Tira. So maybe you can look at it in a different light now that everything's said and done and calmed down. All I said was that your depression didn't look like mine. And yeah, I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't meant in a negative way at the time, because it definitely was. So that's why I can see why you took it a negative way. Thank you for apologizing for, yeah, girl, you were pretty relentless with that one. I'm glad I can laugh about it now. And honestly, even during, I never paid any of it any mind. I mean, the only time I've ever commented on you aside from last year, I'm talking about recently, and not even semi-recently, this is like months ago now too, was on Shannon's page. So I do appreciate the apology and the recognition. Like, yeah, you really pushed that train for a long time. And again, I can understand being upset about what I said, but to the point of, yeah. Anyways, I'm glad that you apologized and recognized that. And if what I said caused you any pain, I will apologize for that as well.
Sorry. This is why I don't do good with telling stories, because I'm not a fluent storyteller.
Same.
So someone basically was being put into that category. Instead of it being directed at Tira because I didn't say a name, it was being directed at Bliss. And I didn't want my blogs and my words to be used to hurt or be weaponized to be directed at the person that it wasn't intended to be directed towards. It was directed towards Tira, and I apologize. I should have said the name. Again, I was friends with people that were friends with Tira, and I try to minimize the amount of times that I talk about Tira, not only so I don't give her a reason to have to fight with me or go back and forth with me, but also to keep the drama off my channel. And I was trying to keep my friends as comfortable as possible, because it's got to be very hard to be my friend and Tira's friend too, especially if me and Tira are fighting with each other. And that brings me to my comment about the secret friendships. I don't want to get into that because I've done enough with things.
Okay. Well, hopefully, I accept your truce. I mean, to be fair, I wanted this a long time ago with everyone, and not even really like a truce. I don't like, just lay down swords, I guess. And I'm glad that you finally came around to it. Because and it's not even really that I saw a lot of what you were saying and doing when it came to me, I mean, but people send me shit, and Shannon's my girl, and I'm going to support her channel. So yeah, I'm just glad that I'm with you. And I don't hate you. You're not my favorite. Okay. Just be honest. But after this video, I actually see a lot of commonalities in you and I. And damn, it would have been cool if we would have liked each other living in Baltimore. Like, I've never met up with anyone from YouTube. So, but some people mesh and some people don't. There are things, again, I'm kind of seeing you in a different light after this video. There are things that I like about you. But again, just any kind of friendliness, relationship, I can't see it happening. But I'm glad that we can lay down the swords. So we're going to continue on with Shelley's video. I mean, she's going over some things. And again, I don't know if I'm going to edit this part out because some of this stuff I don't think is really any of my business. But again, it's all being shared on a public platform. And it's relating to people that I spoke about in my live yesterday. So I may leave this in. I guess we'll see.
Things with group chat gates and stuff over the years, and I don't want to further hurt these women. That's not my intention, but I deleted my community post. It was in reference to people that like Tira, but also like me. But I've said it before, and my members only. It's frustrating because there are people that have forgiven me for what I've done and are able to speak to me. And I'm thankful for that, but they're forgiving me for them, and it's between me and that person. If I hurt somebody, if it's me and some person, I struggle to even really want to say names because I hope people understand it's not because I'm scared. It's just because I'm trying to avoid getting into fights with people because I don't want that. I'm protecting my mental peace, and I don't want my.
It's a hard line, right? Maybe this is why I'm seeing Shelley in a different light after this, because I'm actually really relating with her here. Been through all this. It's a tightrope. It's very, very difficult. But it's even more difficult when the people you think are your friends are being very unreasonable. It makes it much, much harder. So I want to say I really feel for Shelley here. But I think your members are right. I think everyone should be allowed to speak their mind. I don't think that you should feel silenced in your opinions, especially when the other people certainly aren't silent with their opinions, but you're supposed to be. I think you should speak your mind. And I think she does actually here. So let's continue.
My personal friendships to be content for other people because that's not fair. That's not right. It's nobody's right for me to get on here and talk about my private friendships. So that is where I'm struggling. But because people have forgiven me and I've been friendly with them and they've chatted either in my comment sections or we've talked before behind the scenes or whatever we're doing, that's our private friendship, that's our business. And I got the feeling, I basically feel like it was a secret friendship because it was a friendship off of YouTube but couldn't be friendship on YouTube. And it's not only that, because I can understand that. And I said that to my members, I can understand because I have a scarlet letter on my forehead. I know a loser, but it's like a scarlet A is on my forehead. If you're friends with Shelley Abbott, we can't be friends with you. Or that becomes uncomfortable for people to have to justify or defend why they're my friend again. I understand.
I don't think you should have to understand that. I don't care who you are or what you've done. If someone is telling you behind the scenes that you guys are friends, but they can't do it publicly, that is disgusting. And no one deserves that. No one deserves that. I feel like Shelley just needs on some aspects, I feel like she's super confident and then lacking in confidence in other aspects. It's tough. But you need to recognize when people are treating you shitty. I mean, I said the same thing in my live about Terry, and I'm not trying to drag Terry into what I'm doing right now with Shelley. It's just a comparison. But it was the same kind of deal when, and again, I'll apologize for if I ever gave any interest to y'all's group chat stuff. It was a bad time for me during that time when that happened with y'all, and I was super petty and super negative, just in a negative space then. Your group chat stuff is none of my business. I really look at that, like these leaking of group chats and stuff, differently now, because it's so utterly violating the feeling, and it's none of my business. But I'm only referencing this again because it's talked about publicly, okay? So when people started making separate side chats to get away from Terry because they didn't want to say certain things around Terry, like that is comparable to, yeah, I'm your friend behind the scenes, but not in public. Both equally disgusting in my book, and both hard fucking lines where you're like, all right, fuck you then. Like, I'm better than that. I deserve better than that. And I don't need to fucking put up with that. And I kind of feel like Shelley's there.
Understand that. I understand that. I have no problem with that aspect, and I didn't.
You should, though. That's not okay. That is not okay at all. Again, I don't care who you are. Not okay. And that it's okay for you to say that. It's okay for you to say that that's not okay. And that's where I think the confidence needs to come in. I feel like Shelley second guesses herself a lot. And you know what? We're fucking human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have wrong opinions sometimes. We're going to handle situations differently when we're angry, especially. But sometimes your gut just speaks to you. And you know that's not right, girl. And you shouldn't be okay with it, is what I'm trying to say, in my opinion. Me personally, because I always have to bring it back to myself, so I'm not being like judgy or like trying to throw unwanted advice constantly in anyone's face. I would not put up with that. Not at all. Not ever. Not before, not now, not in the future. Like that is something that I would have never put up with, even at my worst.
For a while now. But I think going into live streams and comment sections and constantly saying, we're not Shelley's friend, we don't like her, you think we're friends, we're not. These comments over and over and over again. I don't like her. I forgave her for me. We don't talk. I don't like her. It's like rubbing salt on the wound over and over and over again.
I mean, to the people watching, how fucking gross. So not only are we secret friends, but you're also going to shit on me publicly. What is wrong with these fucking people? You guys, what is wrong with these people? Seriously. And I've seen it. She's not lying here. I have seen people not just comment in lives, but on panel saying what she's saying. Some people are just not good people. I don't know what else to say here other than fucking ew. How foul can you be? That we're going to continue because I'll just get nasty.
If that makes sense. So it's one thing to just be friends behind the scenes with me or secretly, whatever. But it's another thing to then actively go on panel and have to keep preaching how much you don't like me, knowing that that's not what you're telling me. That's not what's happening off of YouTube. And I have mentioned this to them several times. Like, I don't like this. And I understand, never say never, that there might become a time, if I play my cards right, like there might be a time that this might be a friendship. And I completely understand it. And I was patient. I am patient. I understand. Take my licks. I did something wrong. And when they feel the need that they can be publicly comfortable speaking to me publicly on my channel, in my comment section, then that's great. I think I got fed up with I don't like Shelley. You think that, and I don't like the gaslighting of making someone think that they're not talking to me behind the scenes when they really are. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not, I guess I don't have that type of, I don't have patience for that in 2026. I really don't. And I wish everyone nothing but the best.
It's commendable that after all that, she still says, I wish everyone nothing but the best. That's commendable because yeah, you shouldn't have been okay with that in 2026, 2025, 2024. Like, no one ever, nowhere ever should that be acceptable. And I hope that is never acceptable for you again, girl. I really do. That's some of the foulest shit I've ever heard.
It's hard. It's hard to see that, and I think it was handled wrong. And that's my thoughts and opinions. And again, the reason why I'm making it public is because I already made it public I made it public by a community post, and it's being referenced, and I want it to come out of my mouth the way that I meant it first before any more speculations happen. Um, it was after Rebrand's live stream where there was comments saying, "I don't like Shelley. You think that we're friends? We're not friends." And it hurt me, and it hurt me that that's not the first time that I've seen people reference how much they don't like me, and that I then behind the scenes that I just need to be patient, and I don't understand why you can't tell people that we're friends publicly. I don't understand it. I get that it's because you don't want the backlash and the badgering of certain people, but if they cared about you as a friend, they wouldn't care who your other friends are. And for example, this is just an example. So if Terry doesn't like me, but say like BTU likes me or Chicago likes me, then Terry should understand that they're going to like me, and that's them. But that maybe like Terry doesn't have to like me, but BTU and Chicago can. And that's okay, because if they've forgiven me for what I've done to them specifically, and we can get to a place of forgiveness, then that is between us. That's our friendship.
So that is completely okay. Absolutely okay. Now, I do, and I think for the most part, you and Terry, and I know you were just using her name as an example here, but you guys leave each other alone, right? This is just the manipulation and the gaslighting from these people. It, like, my head is exploding right now. It really is. And then to tell her, be patient, we'll be friends publicly with you soon. Like, I'm giggling because it's so disgusting and uncomfortable to me. And that's kind of what I'm a laugher when I get it. I literally have a cringe feeling in my stomach right now. Never okay. Ever. Now, what I was trying to say, and again, I know you just used Harry as a name example here. I do understand Terry's gripe with certain people that you're speaking on here when it comes to, when it comes to me, actually. I understand when Terry kind of says, like, you guys are okay with Shelley and I'm okay with that. But you can't be okay with me being friendly with someone like Bliss. And I don't think that that's a dig at you from Terry at all. I think Terry's on point there. But yes, we are all grown fucking adults, y'all. We can be friends with whoever the fuck we want to be friends with. People don't have to like it, okay? And again, there's going to be those certain people where it's a hard line. Like, for example, Shelley here. Like, I don't think we could ever be friends. We can be cordial. I wouldn't even take it to friendly, though. I'll stick with cordial. Because in my opinion, she promoted and supported some people that I feel did me, like, really real life wrong. And I don't go real life on YouTube. That's why I do feel bad about mentioning Shelley's depression. Again, I do stand on that. If you're gonna share it as content on a public platform, people are gonna have public criticisms. I don't think it hits so below the belt. Some people have, listen, the people that have had stuff done to your real life, you're gonna understand that it would be hard for me to have a friend who is also friends with people like that. But it's rare. Like, those instances are rare to me in general. And I don't think any of the people Shelley's referring to here have done such egregious things like that to where they shouldn't be okay with Shelley being friends with so and so, or whoever being friends with so and so that you don't like, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, grown adults, you should be able to do that. We should all be able to do that.
That's private. But in the same token, we in Chicago have to be understanding of Terry being friends or friendly with someone like, I don't want to say her name, like the P. Like P. I'm just gonna call her P because I don't want to reference her on my channel anymore. I vowed that. See, I already broke that. And understand that the friendships are separate, and it's up to you how much you want to trust the person. Like,
I'm really glad to hear that, Shelley, because that specific train you have ridden to the point of it is now in the station and about to be retired. Okay, so I'm glad to hear that you are retiring that, because that some stuff just gets really overplayed, and that's one of them. So I'm super happy to hear that. And it's going to be more conducive for your channel. So it's all around nothing but going to benefit you.
Like, look, I get it. Say, like, some people are my friends again, like some of the women from the group chat, say they become my friends again, but they don't trust me ever to know certain things. That's fine, but we're still friends. It's up to you when you forgive somebody how much trust you want to put in them. If you, for example, don't like Terry, like, for example, if you're friends with Terry Lynn, but you think she's friends with Liz and Cindy and all of them, right? Again, these are just hypotheticals, and you don't want to tell Terry your secrets because you think it's going to go over to them, then just don't. But, like, don't get mad that Terry's talking to them. I
don't necessarily disagree with that either. I apologize. All my kids are home. Their friends are over. You'll hear background noise. Apologies for that. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Hold on. Let me re-listen to that one more time. I kind of need to form my thoughts here about this.
and Cindy and all of them, right? Again, these are just hypotheticals, and you don't want to tell Terry your secrets because you think it's going to go over to them, then just don't. But, like, don't get mad that Terry's talking to them. I don't.
Okay, see, that's where we're in disagreement here, because again, I would never question that with my friends. Now, there's people that you're friendly with, but if you can't trust someone to not blab your personal stuff to others, and not just others, to others that they know that you are not a fan of, then I just don't think that's a friendship. I'm sorry. Again, I trust my friends. I know wholeheartedly if I tell them something, they are not going to go and blab it to someone else. And if you can't, if you don't have that, and then it's not a friendship. And if people are insecure in, I think it's more an insecurity in certain people. Like, I don't think Terry has proven herself as a liar, or I don't know. I don't really know what I'm trying to say here, to be honest. My gummy just hit me. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, let's just listen on. But again, I don't think that's real friendship then. I mean, I guess everyone's view of friendship is subjective and can be, your own opinion, but I personally would not call that a friendship. If I have to second guess you like that, I'm sorry, you're not a friend.
I don't know. I don't know how to navigate that. Again, I don't like to speculate on other people's friendships. It's just not my business to speculate on that. But I will say that I value myself more this year, and I know I deserve more. And I understand I don't deserve other people's forgiveness. I'm just talking about my life in general. I deserve to have a good life, and I deserve to be happy. All of us deserve to have good lives. All of us deserve to be happy. And I need to evaluate my friendships. And I hurt these women, and I know that doesn't give me a pass. And I know that my apologies don't warrant automatic friendships. But it was portrayed to me that friendship publicly was going to happen, but there was no date or time. It was just whenever they feel like it, whenever they feel and that they can be my friend again. And like I said, I don't mind that, but I just think you're adding to my hurt and my pain by telling me that we're friends and then going on people's panels and telling people you're only my friend because you thought I was going to unalive myself. You only talk to me because of this, or we're not friends. I don't know what you're saying. We've never talked to her. We don't speak to her. We don't share her stuff.
Did someone actually say that? I don't know who you're talking about there, or if that's actually something a specific someone said. That is disgusting. You're only friends with someone because you thought they were gonna. Oh wow. Um, I'm gonna move past that because that again, I have like a cringe feeling in my stomach right now. I'm glad to hear you say that you're worth more than that, Shelley. Again, I don't have to be a fan of you to know that you should know that you are worth so much fucking more than that. And I'm just so glad to hear that you're putting your foot down here, and I hope you stick with it because this is I can't wait to see some of the comments in the comment section here about this stuff specifically. I don't know if I'm getting like triggered by it or it's just so beyond gross to me. And I really want to know. And again, it's really, you're talking about it publicly, so you're kind of making it everyone's business. But I never saw someone say that. And if they did, that's fucking wild.
And then you come back behind the scenes and talk about what good friends we are. And I just, it's like it's a it's a gut punch.
It's a hornet's nest of fucking manipulation. Hell yeah, it's a gut punch. That is. I don't know that I've ever heard manipulation like this before. And I'm sorry, and I really hope Shelley doesn't take offense to this, but I kind of see her as like vulnerable. I mean, and I only say that because of what she has talked about, like her experiences, where she's at right now, like as far as like sharing her mental health stuff. And the mind fucking warp that this must have caused you. I I can see why you're struggling a bit. And these, because you call these people friends. Yeah, that would cause a struggle for anyone. Wow.
And I wish that if we weren't ever going to be publicly friends, that they could have just been honest with me from the start and said, I will be your friend behind the scenes, but I don't forever see me ever acknowledging our friendship publicly.
Yeah, bare minimum that. That's like bare fucking minimum. And again, I don't have to like someone to have empathy. And Shelley even admits herself, so this isn't a diss. She's definitely used some emotional manipulation in the past couple years. This is not one of those times. This is genuine. And I'm telling you, when I watch videos of like people crying or getting upset, I'm going to, again, we're human. I'm going to do my best not to do that online, but I get it here because this is genuine. This hits me in the gut. Seeing someone this upset and this fucking manipulated and tortured. And again, there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh, no, she's sucking Shelley's ass. No. I'm telling you what I feel in this very moment. This is genuine emotion right here. And if you don't feel it, something, you're missing something because something's wrong. And I guess people could have a different opinion. Like they could think she's faking the funk, whatever. But I feel it. It's genuine. I'm telling y'all. Wow.
And I'm just hurt because I carry so much guilt about group chat gate. And I can't believe that I allowed myself to get wrapped up in so much toxicness, and there's no excuse for it. But I am sorry. And I thought that these women would get to a place with me that they would be able to support me publicly again. And I'm not good for their image. I'm not good for their brand. And I understand that. I just wish that I was told the truth and not fed something that may never make it.
I don't even know what to say. To bring it back to Tira, if these women can be friends still with someone like her, but not be friends with you publicly, that is another mind fuck right there. Again, I always want to understand the psychology behind stuff. She has done Shelley, let me, you know what? I'm going to keep it short and sweet. You are tiers above Tira. Okay? Know that, girl. I hope you can find better friends. No one deserves to be alone, and I know, you're building your own community and you have your members. I seriously hope you can find a good friend and that you're both good to each other, because the people you're referring to here, they're not it, girl. You deserve better.
It was never really explicitly explained to me, and it wasn't until I started questioning the secret friendship where I was told in time, and never say never, that in time things may get to that and they would like to get to that place again, but for right now it can't be like that. And again, I would have accepted this friendship and I would have continued accepting this friendship if they would have reacted publicly, I think, differently. Like, if someone is questioning, but you're friends with Shelley, you're friendly with Shelley, you could just say, well, I don't, but what's between me and Shelley is something that we're working out privately. It's not at that place where we can publicly be friends right now, but maybe one day. Or, I don't have any comments about being friendlier or friends with Shelley. It's just, I have gotten to a place where I forgive her and that's where we're at. I can't explain it. Maybe it's wrong for me to narrate the way they should have spoken.
No, I think you're explaining it again. I think that's bare minimum what they could say and do. I think you're explaining it pretty good, though.
I just think if it was just one time, it would have been understanding, but it's over and over and over again. Anytime I've been referenced as their friend, it's been immediate no's. We don't like her. We don't talk to her. We don't share her stuff. We just forgave her. That forgiveness is for me. And I just don't like it. And then I have to remember that, and maybe it's on me for assuming that the friendship was going to go somewhere, but I don't wish any of them ill will.
That's some more self-awareness right there. And I think maybe this is why this video, I'm seeing her in a different light, because I'm actually seeing her like, how do I say this? She's thinking what she did wrong in the situation. And I don't know that I've ever seen that from Shelley before, if I'm being honest. And that's something that I always try to do. Even when I think I am in the right, I do try to look back and self-analyze myself and what I could have done better. And I think that's something good to do in every single situation. And yeah, I've never seen that from her before.
And I hate to bring it on YouTube, but I also made a community post out of reaction. I wish those women nothing but the best, but I want to do them a solid and free them from this half one leg in, one leg out thing. So yeah, I don't know where the friendship stands. It's not even been something that's even been talked about behind the scenes.
All right, so this is where, it's already been kind of personal. Again, it's stuff that's been going down publicly, though, at the same time. But this is where it gets a little too personal to me, and I think I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to come. All right, so I fast forward to almost the end of her video. There's just certain things and people that nothing good, positive, or productive can come from me commenting about. So, and again, there was some stuff that just got a little too personal for me as far as her personal friendships, and it's just not my place. So let's start here, and we're almost done.
Drama hole, but that's not what I'm trying to do. So mainly, I came on here to clarify that when I was talking about someone who was making fun of my health, making fun of my hair, talking about my gray hair, I was talking about Tira, Nicole, not Bliss, Chris. This is for me, and I'm tired of feeling like if I apologize to Bliss and JJ and Cindy, then so-and-so's gonna hate me. If I apologize and make amends with Michelle and Roadhog, then so-and-so's gonna hate me. If I apologize, I haven't done anything to Mr. Whoop, but like say I did something to Mr. Whoop. If I apologize to him, like everyone's gonna hate me. I need to remember that this is me, and I need to do what's best for me, and stop worrying about everybody else and whose feelings I'm gonna hurt. You know what I mean? Sorry, my daughter came in. My daughter.
Yeah, that's putting yourself first, and it's needed. Me and Shelley are kind of in the same boat here as far as our 2026. Like, I can't. I don't have any more fucks, you guys. If I do a live or have an opinion that isn't for you, then catch the next live or the next short. You know, like I'm not gonna harp over that. You just can't. You can't. I've never been someone that, like, I try to keep other people in mind, don't get me wrong. But when it comes down to it, I'm always going to do me. And I can't always worry, like, oh, I'm going to step on this person's toes or this person's not going to like this. And I just can't. The people that know me and know my heart know me. And just because I may talk about something or someone or have a different opinion from them, I know those people are still going to be there and they're not going to turn around and attack me for that moment or situation. You know, you can't concern yourself with that. Anyone should be able to be friendly with anyone they want to be friendly with. That's what it comes down to. Like people take this YouTube stuff like so seriously. And I don't know that I was ever one to take it super seriously, but I definitely invested energy that shouldn't have been invested, you know? Like everyone just gotta fucking woosah and chill. It's not that fucking serious. And I gotta say, for me personally, if anything ever gets to the point where it's affecting my mental health or affecting me like super negatively, that's when I know it's time to log off. Nothing on YouTube should have to ever come to that. So I hope she realizes that, and it like just do you speak your mind and your people will be there. But sometimes I think it's like a nostalgia factor. Like people have been friendly or cool or in a certain community for so long that it's just kind of hard to let go. And I totally get that. But again, you have to put yourself first, your morals first. And if anything ever interferes with that, it's time to let it go. And maybe not let it go forever, but yeah.
My daughter said, your face is looking better today. I was like, yeah, I know it's just a little dry. But I get to a place where there's no enemies.
All right. Sorry. I had to pause for a second. Again, mom life. All right. Let's continue. Just about done here.
You know what I mean? Sorry, my daughter came in. My daughter said, your face is looking better today. I was like, yeah, I know it's just a little dry. But I get to a place where there's no enemies. And I want people to understand that just because I am apologizing to Bliss, it's because I do owe her an apology as a human being. I do.
You also got to be realistic. I don't think it's ever going to come to a place where you're going to have no enemies. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people that don't like you. You're going to have, your one main person that's always coming at you and their little group, tagging along. That's just YouTube, girl. So I just think that's unrealistic. It's how you handle it though. Don't give them any oxygen. I don't give those kind of people any oxygen anymore. And the only time that sometimes a bitch has got to react though, at the same time, again, I'm human. And I'm done with staying silent for the sake of others. If I want to react or speak about something, I'm going to fucking do it. That's just it. But at the same time, there is certain people who were on that list of zero oxygen, zero engagement. I will never look their way again. And Tira is one of those people. And I appreciate the apology. I do.
I do owe her an apology for things. And the thing is, when you get on here and you start apologizing to people go, "You're friends with her, you like her." She doesn't like me. Bliss, you don't like me. I know you don't like me, and that's okay. Like, and just like, it's, I'm sure because of everything that happened, it's hard to like her. I don't like you, Bliss. I don't like Bliss. Bliss don't like me. We're not friends. I just would like to be an adult about things, and I think some people can.
Me and Shelley are not going steady, y'all. It's just me and Terry, okay? Honestly, I don't even like the phrase, I don't like you. I don't like your past behaviors, some choices you made. Actually, just to throw some positivity in here, there are certain things I do like about you, Shelley. I like your quirkiness. I like your confidence that you're completely okay coming on YouTube and dancing for all to see. Like, I like that kind of stuff. I'm not that person, but I do like people that are like that. And I wish you could take that positivity and that confidence and put it into your friendships, if that makes sense. And again, I know I keep giving like unwanted advice here, but I don't necessarily don't like you. Yeah, but if on that same note, I completely understand if you don't like me. I am certainly not for everyone. I am stubborn as fuck. I am a blunt bitch. I I speak before I think, you know what I mean? So some people just aren't for everyone. And you're right. That doesn't mean that we have to be assholes to each other all the time. We can be cordial.
People confuse being an adult and doing the right thing morally as being friends with someone. And that has been something that I've struggled because I'm like, oh, I can't say I'm sorry to Bliss because and then I feel like I was like, why are you saying you're sorry to Bliss? We don't like Bliss, fuck that bitch. Like, and I'm not calling you a bitch, Bliss. I'm just saying, like, I feel like people would be like, why are you talking to her? Why are you over there? Why are you commenting? Like, we don't.
Oh, I'm a bitch. I don't take any offense to that at all. But as far if someone has a problem with that, that's a them problem. That's something they need to work out with themselves. Okay? You apologizing to me or anyone is none of your friend's business. It's just not. And you know what's funny? Because especially lately, and this is not in this community sector, this is in another community. There's been a lot of laying down arms lately. There's been some apologies. And yeah, people don't like it. But my friends, they're always happy for me when I can lay down swords with someone, even when they don't like them. That's a good thing. What negative could come from laying down swords with someone? How would that affect your friends negatively at all? They should be happy because it's a release. And I do say forgiveness is not for the person you're saying sorry to. It actually is for yourself. And that doesn't mean you forget either. And it's a release. I'm gonna actually be doing a live soon about this and about yeah, just forgiveness in general and how it is more so for you than the person you're apologizing to, and what it actually physically and mentally does to your body. It is a release. It's a positive thing. So again, anyone who takes issue with that, that's a them issue. And again, let's also be realistic here. I know that I'm going to have people commenting on this saying that I'm kissing your ass now, you're kissing my ass now. It's just what they do. Those people, they're not happy with something in their life or themselves. That's all I can think. Because I just can't find anything bad out of being like, hey, can we just fucking stop? Don't want to be friends, don't want to have any kind of relationship. If we happen to cross paths, though, we can be cordial. There's nothing wrong with that. And anyone that thinks that there's something wrong with that, it's not my problem, it's not Shelley's problem, it's your problem, and you need to figure that out yourself.
We don't like her, and I just feel like that's the same thing with like Roadhog or Michelle. Is I apologize for what I did in the past to them. I contacted a reporter from their state, which is going real life, which is not right to do because they have children, despite my feelings for the adult in the situation. What I did was horrible. And I don't care if no one likes why I apologize. I apologize to that man and Michelle and their family because that's the right thing to do. Because what I did to them was wrong. Despite the fact, oh, well, Roadhog said this about her husband. Well, you know what? I said stuff about Roadhog too. Why did Roadhog did tell on myself, but I also did feel bad that I did this to this man. So that's just an example of, if I mess up, I'm going to apologize. In 2026, I'm trying to really do better. I'm really trying, guys. I'm so trying. And there may be days that I may mess up and I may get back into drama, but I'm going to try my hardest. And trust me, I am more ready to change more than ever because of a lot of things that have happened in my life over the past couple months. And I'm thankful that people understand that I'm going to be on this side and I'm going to be on that side and I'm going to be on this side and I'm going to be on this side behind me. I'm going to be on that side, this side, all the sides, loop-de-loop, all the sides, 365 degrees. I'm going to be on all the sides. And there are people in different communities that I like, that I watch, that I support. And there are people that are in different communities that hate each other, that I still am friends with, that I still like. I still like people in the Pigpen side. And people may not understand that, and that's okay. I like people in.
All right, I'm going to stop it here. Shelley, good luck with that. I've always been someone like that. There's really only one community that I consider myself a part of on here. But I've always been, even in fucking high school, I would bounce around from group to group. Like, I didn't have just one community, one set of friends. Like, that's just who I was. I was friendly to everyone. If you're friendly to me, I'm friendly to you. That's kind of just how it goes and how it should go. But it's a tightrope. It's not easy. So I hope you're successful at that. Again, I appreciate the apology. Right back at you. I know that there's certain things that I shouldn't have participated in. It was just a clusterfuck of bullshit during that time. And I felt pulled in a lot of different directions. And I was trying to do one thing, and then people would come onto my channel and pull me in your direction, it felt like, and I didn't even really know who you were. And it just got really messy for a while. And again, it was not a good time for me. And again, unwanted advice. So just be careful about, and this is for every creator, be very mindful about what you share online. Because in the end, people, when you share on a public platform, people are going to have public opinions and criticisms. And I think there was a couple instances where I did step over the line, even if it was stuff that Shelley herself had shared. My morals, I kind of threw them to the wayside because of hate. And again, I don't hate anyone, but just because I didn't like her or certain people. And that's something I really regret. That's not who I am. But again, we're all human. Everyone has done and said shit. People like to sit on their fucking pedestals like they're the pristine greatness. They don't do anything wrong. That's not true. Everyone has made fucking mistakes on here. And all we can do is better. So, incurable optimist, glass half full. I have felt it and seen it. It's 2026. I feel like Shelley is on a new path. I feel like a lot of us are kind of on a new path. And it's nice to be able just to, weapons down, y'all. It's not that serious, we don't have to. It's nice to be able just to squash it and move on. It takes so much energy to hold on to all these grudges and I didn't like this opinion. She's the devil now. Like I'm really fucking over it. I really am. So Shelley, thank you. I thought this was a really good video. I thought it was deserving of a reaction. I feel like it was very genuine and yeah, I appreciate it and I thought that it deserved a reaction. So for anyone who watched all this, thank you. I appreciate it. Now I have to go figure out how to edit in StreamYard. So wish me luck. And again, I will link Shelley's video link in my description. You guys go listen to her in full and leave her a comment. Whether you agree or disagree or you have unwanted advice or criticism. And there's a way to do criticism, you guys. We can do criticism respectfully. You don't have to be a dick. Some instances, some people, dickness, completely support, okay? But I think in this scenario, none of us have to be dicks. If you want to come under in my comments and say, I don't agree with you, I don't like this, that is fine. It's okay. It's okay. But we don't have to go below the belt. And I'm going to do my best. I can't, your girl's petty. Your girl gets petty. But just know, I will keep it to YouTube. I'm not one of those people that are going to go in your real life, going to fuck with your business. Never, ever be me. Okay? I hope everyone else can do that too. Hope everyone has a good day. And I think I'm going to be seeing you guys next Tuesday for part 2 live.